After embarrassing performances from Johnny Manziel and Brian Hoyer against Washington on Monday, I guess the notion of if you have two quarterbacks, in the end you have none is the case for the Browns. And I wouldn't have confidence going forward with either as starting quarterback, but they do have to choose one, and they have done so Tuesday morning. They announced Brian Hoyer will be the starting quarterback for week 1. The question is, how many more weeks will Brian Hoyer continue to be the Browns starting quarterback? Welcome back to the Best Damn Sports Blog. Back again to talk NFL with you guys. Following Monday Night Football, Tuesday morning the Browns announced Brian Hoyer will be the starting quarterback in week 1 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that decision had to be made, although Hoyer has looked unimpressive himself. But Johnny Manziel, he even said out his own mouth he wasn't ready to start against the Pittsburgh Steelers in week 1. And I would agree with that. But I also have to point out that Brian Hoyer has looked terrible, completely terrible this preseason. I'm going to read you guys some stats from this preseason. Brian Hoyer, through 2 games, is 8 of 20 passing, 108 yards, no touchdowns, 40% completion percentage. That 40% completion percentage is 3rd worst in the NFL, including backups and third stringers. Johnny Manziel, on the other hand, 14 of 27, 128 yards with 1 touchdown pass coming from a halfback screen. Now, Manziel's numbers are not impressive. They're pretty mediocre themselves, but Brian Hoyer's numbers are just god-awful. 3rd worst in the whole NFL on completion percentage? But at the same time, this is the right answer. I don't see Johnny Manziel doing well in week 1 versus the Steelers. Brian Hoyer is a veteran despite these terrible numbers he's putting up. Now the question is, will Brian Hoyer start the whole season for the Browns? And I don't believe so. I believe Johnny Manziel will get his chance most likely after the bye week. I mean, the Browns' first 3 games are the Steelers, then they face the Saints, and then they face the Ravens. I can see Brian Hoyer struggling in all 3 of those games, and then Johnny Manziel will come in week 5 following their bye week in week 4. That was my original plan that I thought the Browns should go with. There is nothing that is going to hurt Johnny Manziel by sitting on the bench, holding clipboards, watching the game from the sideline, and learning from Brian Hoyer's mistakes that he sees on the field. Brian Hoyer's days are numbered at starting quarterback, whether he realizes it or not. Johnny Manziel was drafted for a reason, so he will get his chance. But I would like the Browns to wait until he is 100% ready, and clearly he isn't. He is still overthrowing, underthrowing, not on schedule with his receivers. And that's fine. He's a rookie. It's going to take time. There's a big adjustment from college to the NFL, and we can't just expect him to make the leap as if it isn't a big adjustment. It will take time. He looks lost out there. But then again, so does Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer does not look much better than Johnny Manziel, but the Browns are left with no choice if they want to try to win. Brian Hoyer gives them the best chance to win since he proved in the past that he can do so. The Browns were 2-0 with Brian Hoyer last year. Now that's last year. So don't think I'm saying Brian Hoyer is the answer, because he's not. But he is the answer, I believe, for the first 3 weeks. And then after that, the Browns most likely will be 0-3. And then they might as well go to Manziel, put him in, and let him grow into the position. Maybe by season end, he will be the starting quarterback that the Browns want, and they have no concerns about a quarterback going forward.